Hello, everyone. This is Aaron at Power Popaholic, and today I'm talking with Connor Lumsden from the band Music City. How you doing today, Connor?
I'm doing excellent. Spring has sprung in London town, so yeah, I'm enjoying it. Went for a run today, taking in the air.
Very nice, very nice. So, one of the things I wanted to ask, growing up in Dublin, what record stores, shapes your taste usually? So, what was the first record you bought with your own money?
Well, I have been. I'll give you two situations with this. So first of all, for with my communion money that so I would have been what 6.5 or 7. When you make your communion over here, people give you money. So with that, I got to buy Insomniac by Green Day and Reload by Metallica. So
Oh,
they were the
wow.
first. They're the first two that I got, and then when I was older, if we're talking proper records like the ones that you have there.
Yeah.
Um, lots of Marshall Crenshaw stuff here. I
Yeah,
see.
I just happened to pull out the Marshall Crenshaw background.
Nice, nice. Yeah, I had mine up, but yeah, no, I just stuck with these records here. Um, and then when I was, I guess, how old was I when I started buying records? Like 13 or 14. There was a shop in Dublin called Sound Cellar, and you'd go down the stairs, and that's usually where you would buy like concert tickets, like if you wanted to go see Metallica or whatever. I remember they had this very everybody was like very covetous over this Binge and Purge Metallica box set that they had, and
Right.
I think you got like a little stencil with it as well. But I remember it was just astronomically expensive that you could never afford it. It was like 100 pounds even back then,
Wow.
before the euro came in. But when I went into there to buy like vinyl records for the first time, I was getting Legacy of Brutality, the Misfits compilation, and then the guy behind the counter recommended that I got this Albert King album, Born Under a Bad Sign, and he was like, "Look, kid, I know that you want to listen to this punk stuff, but this album is going to serve you well at some point in your life, and you'll thank me down the line." I think I liked it immediately anyway, but over the years it has become more and more of a favorite for me.
Awesome.
'Cause it's got like the MGs playing on it, which is kind of, I guess, unusual for a more blues record. So it has a little bit more of that kind of up-tempo soul feel to it. And yeah, so anytime I hear The Hunter from that album, I'm like, hell yeah, let's go out.
Well, you got a definitely diverse influences there. Uh, just want to mention to our audiences that the new album out is called Welcome to Music City. And it's been out for a couple months now. And, tell me, you originally started playing drums with your band, the Number Ones, for many years.
Well, no, I
No?
wouldn't even say no. So the number ones, I started off as a bass player first.
Oh, okay.
Still my favorite instrument, I would say. So I've been playing in bands since I was about 11 or 12.
Wow.
So the first band I was in was called the Spungos, which was a sort of a Fat Record style, um, if you want to call it punk, kind of thing, like really fast pop punk
Right.
stuff. And it got a little bit heavier as time went on. So I was playing in that band, playing bass, playing gigs since I was like 12. And then I had I guess a true pop punk band when I was a teenager. In What was I into? Like I was really into Jawbreaker and Green Day, um, Husker Du replacements when I was a teenager. So that I was doing that stuff for a while, and then I went to go to college. That band broke up, and I was in college for a while, and I wasn't even in a band, which is crazy to think of now. And the number ones were like, "Hey, you should be in this band. We need you to join." And I was like, "Well, what, you want to have like three guitar players?" And they're like, "No, you can play drums." And I was like, I don't know how to play drums. They're like, "How hard can it be?" So that's how I joined the number one. So I got a drum kit just for when my other bands were practicing, off a friend of mine from school who sold out and went to become a police officer. So he sold
Wow.
all of his drum stuff to me for really cheap. So yeah,
Very
he's on a
nice.
different kind of beat now.
Yeah, definitely. Well, what pushed you to step forward as the main songwriter and frontman for Music City?
Well, I've always been that kind. I've always wrote songs and wanted to be a good singer. Um, my ambitions were a little bit higher than my skill levels for a good few years, but so I mean, I write songs in the number ones, sing in the number ones, which is a very sweaty affair when you're playing drums as well. Um, but this was more of, I mean, the number ones has a very distinct sound, very, I guess, every time we play together, it sounds like us playing together, which is
Right.
a beautiful thing. But I'm certainly not into playing drums as a main instrument. And so when you're writing songs, I'm like, I don't want to be forcing myself to have to actually learn how to play drums. I mean, I do what I could do in the number ones, and that's, you know, I'm no Jeff Porcaro or anything. So yeah, as the songs kind of went a little bit outside of our um, I guess parameters. I guess we play quite Irish style, good vibrationsy undertones,
All right.
pop punk as you'd call it, I'm sure, or maybe not. I remember getting rejected from some Facebook groups when I was first posting about them, but yeah, I don't know. People use the term power pop a lot with us, so but as I was kind of getting more into trying to play kind of, I guess that more 70s songwritery stuff, you know,
Yes.
really big Billy Joel fan, really big Elton John fan, Warren Zevon, Steely Dan, that's all that stuff, Fleetwood Mac. So that really didn't, I mean, like, there's two sides of songwriting, I guess. There's like
Right.
the songs and then there's the presentation. So you can kind of, you know, put them to any like you could present it any way that you want. But the way I wanted these songs to sound was not the number one's version of
Right.
these AOR stuff.
Right, a little bit more melodic. But I remember I read in an interview that you basically said that making this album was like a fight between hope and disappointment. What personal experiences drove that theme of the album?
Well, my whole life, really. I mean, I'm a dreamer, and if you look at the stats, if you look at my bank account, you'll see that there's a lot of disappointment there. So yeah, so I think that's a kind of more, you know, you have to answer these questions when you're doing like a press release. So there's an overarching theme. I was like, I didn't set out with that. It's just, you know, songs come as they come. But if I'm to look back at it from a, you know, a distance, yeah, there's a lot of trying to, you know, pull yourself up and continue with what you had set out to do in the face of endless diversity, whether that's like as I think you might know, that it took me a long time to finish the record. So,
Yes, yeah.
and
6 years,
it's most
right?
more probably, when did I start? The first recording session I think was in uh, 2019 or 2020. So,
Wow.
yeah,
Yeah.
but you know,
All right, cool. I
um,
mean, I really like a lot of the songs on the album. I really love "Common Sense." Has a great, great guitar riff there. And I wouldn't wanted to also ask, did you guys tour with? Did you tour with the Lemon Twigs?
yeah, yeah.
What did you learn
Last
from
year.
them stylistically from those shows?
Stylistically, I mean, not really much. I mean, me and the boys, I think, would have a lot of the same. I met them on their first tour when they were in Dublin. I'm a graphic designer, and I have my studio was upstairs, and I was like, "Hey, you guys want to see my big star neon sign?" So Michael came up, and we were kind of having like a little sing-song thing. I'm not sure how old he was at the time, like 16 or 17.
Yeah,
So yeah, that was really fun, and so I mean, I don't think what I would pick up from them is their uh, dedication and I would say musical professionalism and their astonishing performance.
yeah.
There's really nobody who does it better in the world. I think their harmonies are just perfect, and you know to see afterwards, where I guess like me and Reza and some of the boys from the band, and Michael would be going out. We'd have like a drink, but Brian would be there, and he'd have like sheet music in his hand, and I'd be like,
Right.
okay, that's he. Okay, this guy's dedicated.
He's serious, yeah.
He's really.
Is there a production or studio habit or trick that you picked up from another musician that stuck with you at all?
Um, I don't think so from working with people or traveling with people, but I'm a nerd, a music nerd.
Yes.
So I've read every interview that Lindsey Buckingham has done. I've read every single Beatles book, all of the Jeff Emerick stuff, every interview possible. I know like what compressor is on this song and what was on that one, and
Nice.
with Shelley Yakis with Tom Petty, and yeah. So I'm a complete nerd. So I had a very distinct. Um, I guess, map in my mind of what I wanted certain aspects of each song to sound like. Reading, who else would I like? Steely Dan engineers, just finding out what happened there and how do you make those noises and
How did you
how
get
does
the
it?
sounds?
Yeah.
I read a 10cc book on how they put together, some of their music. It's just fascinating how much meticulousness went into, like, not even a song, just one, like, phrase, just a chorus. And they'd spend
Hmm.
all day on getting that one chorus perfect with, like, 76 different tracks going, or something to
Yeah.
that effect. It's just,
Well, I actually used some of those. Like, I'm Not in Love. They used, each fader was a different note of the scale, so
right.
they would ride the faders like in as like so. This chord you ride the faders here, and so I got hold of the actual recordings of the vocal stacks that they did, and
Nice.
on the song Photograph on the record, I did the same thing where we put it up on the mixing desk and played the chords.
Nice.
So yeah, 10cc. That's a trick that I learned from 10cc interviews
Awesome.
as well.
Awesome.
Yeah, especially, I mean, also the drummer. Um, why can't I not remember his name? Uh, anyway, the drummer from 10cc actually lives where I come from in Shankill in
Oh,
Dublin.
wow.
So neighbors, and now I'm neighbors with Squeeze. So
Oh,
yeah,
great. And they have a new album out as well.
yeah, Trixies.
Yes,
Yep.
Dixie's. It came out. Going to review it as well. When you're looking at today's music scene, what do you think modern bands get wrong about writing a great pop song or a great rock and roll song?
Well, I think that we're kind of lucky, certainly recently. When I started this album, there wasn't many people who were doing it right, in my opinion. It was a lot of, what would I call it? Like polka dot punk kind of. So I get very frustrated because I really love songwriting, and as much as I love the sound of power pop and rock and roll, there's I think a great deal has been lost in terms of the ambitions of songwriters, and I don't mean that in some lofty, write a Bob Dylan poetic, abstract kind of thing. I just mean in basic songcraft. I think that there's not really a lot, and I think when the Lemon Twigs came around, they were one of the first people that I was like, okay, amazing, that's okay, here we go. And then since then, a lot of my friends who are in bands do it really well. The Prize in Australia, or yeah, I mean the Lemon Twigs, Brower, Josephine. These people really. Uh, it was so comforting to know that there was other people who cared about this stuff as much as I did, and we could talk about all these different types of music, and talk about country music and talk about Albert King or something like that, and have can see the common thread throughout the whole thing. And I think that there's a lot of people. So I mean, when I was doing this album, I was kind of maybe trying to avoid it being a power pop album because I didn't want it to just be the paisley shirts and
Yeah,
you know
I know.
that kind of thing.
You like you have a lot of great, what I would call, soft songs on here. Autumn Song, a good example of that, and a lot of
Too soft, some might
too
say.
soft. Yes, Yeah, a little too soft in my opinion.
Well, I mean,
I like to have a good power chord just stuck in there, just to break
yeah,
things up.
I mean, if a song about like a depressed alcoholic can be too pretty, then I guess I've done my job quite
Yes,
well.
absolutely, absolutely. Is there a song on the album, if someone has not heard you before, is there a song that you would suggest them to listen to first?
I think "Pretty Feelings" probably is the one that I would say has that, I don't know, just othery dust magic thing that I would love to have every time I sit down at a keyboard or something to write. And I really took a long time to get that one correct. So
Well, it's
I would
certainly
I
a,
would send people that way first. But it depends if I was chatting to them and they were into something else. If their music tastes were elsewhere, I might throw them somewhere else first. But yeah, I think that's kind of the
I
theme
think "Pretty
song.
Feelings" is a great song, and it's a perfect introduction to you as well. And I'm just going to wrap things up here by saying, is there a myth that people believe in touring with a band today that you'd like to dispel?
Well, I mean, it's really impossible to pull it off. I think these days it's so incredibly difficult to make the money work. Like, no, even if you're doing 3 gigs, it's like, oh my, I'm still trying to pay off that Lemon Twigs tour, trying to bring the band from London to Spain and then to Italy and then back to London and then back to Spain. But myths, I wouldn't like to dispel any myths about the road.
All right,
I'll keep her uh, the mystique
all
of
right.
that cruel mistress.
All right. Well, when I know you're touring with the band, to basically drum up some support for the album, let me know when you come to New York. I'll be glad to
Yeah,
see you.
I mean it's. I mean, we used to kind of go a little bit easier than we could do now. So I don't know. We were if we tried to go over and play now, we might be playing from Guantanamo Bay. So
I'll vouch for you. Don't worry
okay,
about it.
thanks,
All
Aaron.
right. Connor, thanks so much for talking to us. And everyone, please check out the album Welcome to Music City. We hope to hear more from you, Connor, and keep writing, keep doing the pretty songs as well as the hard riffs when you get a chance to do them. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Aaron.
All
Lovely
right.
talking to you.
Take
See you
care.
later.
Bye.
Bye.